How would you cultivate a buyer's list quickly?
So again, the best deals in the world will generate your buyer's list. Like I'll take once in a while, I will drop some little nuggets out there, some bait, because each type of house is going to be a different type of bait. Kind of if you're fishing for a shark, you're going to use red meat on the end of a hook. You're using a minnow for like a bass. So it's the same thing. If I'm putting an inner city rental property on Facebook, which Jenna, you are so right. Like Facebook Marketplace is crazy for selling houses. I mean, probably because it takes the scam ability out of it, because they can just look at your profile to see if you're a real human being or not.
People are lazy too. They don't want to go to anything else. They just want to look while they're looking at somebody's, like, their ex-girlfriend's cat, and just scroll and be like, oh, let's look for a house too while we're there. But go on, sorry.
So like I'll put like later on today, I'm going to put a couple of Cleveland rentals out there on Facebook Marketplace. I will literally probably have 40 people hit me by tomorrow morning. Well, out of all those, because I have a handful of those, I can start sifting through. I start with on Marketplace and I say, hey, just shoot me a text. I'd rather communicate on there. So now I know who they are in Marketplace and I have their cell phone number. And then I start going, hey, I can email you something over there. So now I have their name, their cell phone number, and their Facebook profile. And I start building my list off of that. And it's basically off of one thing that you have in contract. Now, a lot of times I will not put the address on there, because that's what wholesaling is a gray area sometimes. If I just have your house in contract and I start acting like an unlicensed realtor, that's frowned upon by a lot of states. So I'll put, hey, I have a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house that brings in $650 a month. It's on the west side of Cleveland. Give me a call and I'll just put a picture of one of my houses up there. That generates the calls. Then we'll get into specifics on it. When they start asking for address, I go, well, I'll make sure you're a real person first and let's have a conversation. And I start building that relationship that only I can do versus sending it to a third-party call center to do. It's not going to be the same relationship. So inside of a week, I could build a darn good buyer's list if I was starting all over in any town, USA.
So the key to finding money and to find buyers is to have a great deal, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It starts with the deal. Go ahead, Jenna.
100%.
Jenna, can you give us a little bit of a different take on how you would generate, let's say you've got a property right now, how do you generate new buyers, assuming you're starting from scratch?
Well, kind of like what he said, you can market them, online on Facebook Marketplace. Ask other agents or ask other sellers that are in your area. Ask them, and one of the beautiful things about Realeflow is the power matching. So what you have to do is just put in your property, and if you don't have anybody within your buyers list, you just click on that and it's going to show you all 35,000 Realeflow users that have the buying criteria that meets the exact information or the specs of your particular property. So then you can contact those people. Your phone keeps yelling at us, but it gives us the ability to market to those people that maybe you never even knew of before. One thing we always do is we put banners or signs on our property that it's like a 4x6 sign that's gonna say our information, our phone number. Our contractors there like drilled to like know exactly what to say. We just had a house that we're working on, and my contractor just said, hey, somebody drove by and they said they were interested in the house. It's not even done yet, and they know, take their information, give them my information. And so a lot of times, that's exactly how I found a bulk of 15 rentals. Is there was somebody that drove by, saw work going on, stopped in and said, hey, they thought it was somebody else's renovation project, but my contractors were like, hey, but Jenna buys houses. And so they got their information for me, and I ended up buying 15 rental units from this local landlord, because you get so much opportunity from the work that you're doing, posting online. People love to watch renovation projects. So if you're posting before pictures, after pictures, during pictures, buyers are going to start watching and following your projects. And a lot of them, we have our buyer before we even finish, just because they've been watching their house. They feel like it's their house.
Yeah, that's awesome advice. And I love that both of you guys are on here, because you are different. Jenna, you're doing more finished work, where Rob, you're doing more wholesale deals. So that's good to have both of your opinions there. Go ahead, Rob.
What's funny is, I've been a Realeflow user probably for 6 or 7 years, just as you have. I've never messed very extensively with that power matching, and I know it's a powerful tool.
I'll teach you, just like I did with AI.
That I'm like, why don't I use power matching? It's like I almost forgot about it. Yeah, it's kind of like this. It's like having a washing machine. I know, like, I don't know how to probably turn mine on anymore, but you just hit like start and one thing, but there's a gazillion settings on it. There's a million things you're supposed to be able to do. I just turn everything on high, longest time start. That's what I do for microwaves, for ovens, for anything. And it's the same thing with Realeflow. There's a million buttons on there. I don't use half of them, but my gosh, I wonder how much money I'm leaving on the table by not using power matching now that I'm thinking about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. I want a tutorial on that later.
I know
No
somebody who
problem.
does it.
Jen will take care of that. The other thing in Realeflow, not to make this a Realeflow commercial, but we also have active cash buyers, and you can sort on transactions in the last 3 months. So you can find who's actively buying homes in a certain zip code, or you can draw a little polygon, or you can do the whole area, your whole marketplace. So there's a lot of data sitting in there that you can leverage immediately. But to Rob's point, have that deal in hand before you reach out to them. You're just wasting their time without the deal in hand.
Yep.
So there's buyers out there, trust me. There's plenty of buyers out there right now in today's market, and you've just got to match the numbers up.